Back down here at RSEA Park for another vlog day with the Sandringham Dragons up against the Sydney Swans Academy this time. So really excited to check out those guys. We talked about Joel Cochrane, the key defender for the Sydney Academy. He's one of the most highly touted defenders in this year's draft, so he's going to be really interesting to see. The Sandringham Dragons have swung multiple changes in this game, so they're making it pretty hard work. Every time I come here, I've got to learn about 6 or 7 new names. I think they've got 7 debutants or something today, so tough work for a vlogger, but yeah, should be a good day. Beautiful weather out here, and yeah, just a great day for footy. Good contest early here, so it's 2 goals apiece. Sandringham got the first 2, and then quick reply from the Sydney Academy. They've had the ball up their end most of the game, really. They've had it sort of locked inside forward 50. Zachary Nandlal, he is just buzzing around in the midfield, kicked the goal, loving the helmet, looks very Darcy Jones from GWS-like, so he's one I got my eyes on early here. Loving Sydney's ball movement here in this first quarter. They've really got going after conceding the first 2 goals. The next 3 on the board, so they lead by 9 points at quarter time. As I mentioned there, Nandlal, I think it's pronounced, with a helmet. He's been wicked. Carmichael pretty good through the midfield for them, and don't really know how to pronounce this, but I think it's Andrecchio. He's looked really, really smooth. Got a bit of Errol Goulden vibes from him, but probably just because he's playing for Sydney Academy. But yeah, really good user, and went inside 50 there. Just their ball movement through the corridor has been wicked. So you got my eyes on some of those taller players as well. We'll keep you posted throughout the day.
Gotta get it. I'ma gotta get it.
half-time down here at Moorabbin between the Sandringham Dragons and the Sydney Swans Academy. A really good first half of footy. Sydney Swans lead by 7 points going into that major change, and they've been wicked, to be honest. Conceding quite a lot of clearance, so it's really, their scores are really started off that half-back line. Joel Cochrane, who's one of the, I mentioned pre-game, one of the top tip defenders, he's been awesome at intercepting across that sort of back 50 line. They've had also Niels Vassis, another one in there that's just been really good at disrupting. And then they feed those little half-backers in Andrecchio there, and Carmichael's the other one, who's a smaller defender but also competent aerially as well. They just go. So they take off, they use the corridor, and then they're getting it down there to, I think it's Ryan, who's been the most dominant forward for Sydney Swans. They can get it in aerially, they can get the entries in pretty low, and he seems to be able to use his athleticism either in the air or at ground level to be able to get something done. Probably they've been a little bit inefficient inside forward 50, but just they go from that back 50 to the forward 50 so fluidly and so smoothly. It's been amazing to watch, to be honest. He used the wings so well and the halfback so well. The midfield's quite workmanlike, so they concede a lot of clearance to Sydney Swans Academy. Probably their premier ball mover in there is Harrison. So he looks sort of like the Rolls-Royce kind of midfielder for them, but the other guys tend to just be applying pressure. They concede a lot of clearance and then, as I said, sort of just chop it off at that defensive 50. So the game plan really working for them. Nandlal, he's been in there laying tons of tackles and been a pest in there, so really liked his game, and he's hit the scoreboard a couple of times. So yeah, he's been great as well. For the Sandringham Dragons, obviously they've got a lot out, so not really gelling for them as well today. Their ball movement hasn't been great. They're sort of just doing it from a bit of ruck dominance at centre clearance and getting their hands on it first. But yeah, as I said, the ball movement, not a lot of ball movement from half back, and just a bit sort of dirty entries and getting chopped off at half back by the Sydney guys that I said. But really interesting game. The fact that it's only 7 points of difference, they could still get back into it in this second half, and being at home, anything could happen. So great game, and yeah, I'll see you soon. A fair bit going on in this quarter. 50-metre penalty given to the Sandringham Dragons, leading to a goal. Then they kick the next one. They're really happy about. This is probably the most emotional I've seen the Sandringham Dragons. Really sense that there could be an upset brewing here. They lead now by 5 points, sort of around 7 minutes into the third quarter. But yeah, emotions running high, a bit of a scrap off the ball and stuff like that. Yeah, Sydney just need to arrest the momentum back a little bit here. And again, now Sandringham Dragons lining up for another goal, so they could extend the lead out to 11 points here. It's massive. Cochrane sort of moved away from being that loose man in defence. He's gone and stood beside Buck, who's been really dangerous now. I think he's up to 3 or 4 goals. Looks really good in the air. A couple of laser kicks inside 50 from Ned McGuinness, setting him up for a couple. And Sandringham's taking control in this third quarter. Unbelievable stuff. Turned a 7-point deficit into a 16-point lead in a split second, it felt like. Sydney strike early in the last quarter. It's back to 4 points, a beautiful goal. Missed who actually kicked it, but it was a beautiful goal from the pocket by one of the key forwards down there for Sydney. So back to 4 points. Massive game on our hands here. Loving it. The Swans inflict Sandringham's first loss of the season. They had an epic performance, really. All the work done there, mainly in the second and the last quarters, to be honest. I thought they'd lost the game in the third quarter. A huge premiership quarter from the Sandringham Dragons where they just sort of bludgeoned them from clearance. They were too strong, got all the territory. The wind did help going down that end. Something I didn't really mention throughout, but yeah, just a super really composed performance to come away for the Sydney Academy team and beat Sandringham, a team that hasn't lost all season. I know they've got a lot of players out. They haven't got, Ashcroft and Houghton and Murphy Reid and those sort of players in, Trainer as well. So pretty undermanned, but still a massive win for them. Some huge performances for the Swans. Joel Cochrane, he was massive off halfback and kind of the impetus for everything that they did. Particularly early when the ball movement was going, because the game turned into a real arm wrestle in the second half, and I thought Sandringham were going to get the run on. They did in the third quarter, obviously. They got the run on when it was an arm wrestle. McGuinness was in the middle there. Clayton, who someone I don't really know much about, but he had a really good game in there for Sandringham. Finlay was pretty good in the ruck. He sort of got better there and got their clearance game kind of going, but it was really just the run in the end of Sydney and just the repeat entries from getting the ball in from half back, and the ball movement game got a little bit messier in the second half, and it turned into a more just sort of hacking it forward, but they still they kept that run up, kept getting more numbers to the stoppages than what Sandringham did, and deserved their win in the end, which was 10 points. So Happy days for them. They were super happy with the win. Obviously, a lot of celebrations out on field, and just another great day of footy. And got plenty of videos coming out this week, so stay tuned for those. And I'll see you soon.